before that gets confirmed, we will welcome a special guest to talk about all of this and more on Crypto TV. So stay tuned. Our guest today on Crypto TV is Geoff McAlister, who is the Managing Director at Hex Trust Markets. How are you, Geoff?
I'm fantastic. Thanks, Ornella. Great to be here.
Thanks for joining us. So today we're going to talk all about digital asset custody. But first, I wanted to get your take on the approval of Bitcoin spot ETFs. I just spoke a little bit about my views on that, how yes, it is historic and a big victory for the industry and those outside of the industry, just the greater financial community. But it also might not let people hold or use their Bitcoin. So I wanted to get your thoughts on this.
Yeah, I hear you. And of course, extremely topical and a really big event. I think I'm aware of the arguments and some of the question marks on it, I guess from more of the purists, but ultimately it's bringing investment into the industry. And end of the day, people have a choice. So they can choose if they want to hold their own keys and buy Bitcoin, and one day, I guess Ethereum will be next.
I think so. I've even hearing rumors about XRP after following Ether, so we'll see.
Why not?
Why not?
Why not? And I'm sure there'll be various sort of indice trackers as well, ETFs on indices and themed baskets as well. So yeah, I'm sure there'll be many more ahead.
Yeah.
But I think ultimately good, and people have a choice. So yeah, let them come.
Always good to have a choice. And so do you think that you'll be investing in Bitcoin spot ETFs?
Personally, I'd rather hold it myself. So,
Okay.
But I understand the use case for allowing a broader range of investors to access the market. So yeah, I mean, it's great. I think it's really good.
Okay, yeah, hopefully it'll be successful, and we'll see what happens in the next coming months. All right, and so now let's talk a little bit about you, and then we'll get into Hex Trust. But first, how did you get into crypto in the first place? Is there like a memory or a moment that you can recall when you first learned what crypto or Bitcoin was?
Yeah, I learned about it a long time ago. I didn't buy much, unfortunately, but I learned about it, probably 2014. I was, Max Kaiser. I don't know if you're familiar with him, of course, but yeah, I learned about it from listening to him go on about it and on about it a lot, and I thought it was interesting, and I didn't proceed to get close to it until 2018. I was looking a bit more closely and started to play a little bit more and have a closer look and start custodying myself a little bit, and then eventually I eventually made the move 2 years ago, a bit over 2 years ago, moving into Hex Trust after 25 years of TradFi.
All right, so Hex Trust is a custodian, and you work as the managing director at the Hex Trust Markets. So could you just explain exactly what your role in the business is?
Sure. So Hex Trust, yes, was founded initially in 2018 in Hong Kong, and the founders saw, had a very good vision of the requirement for institutional grade custody to help the adoption of the institutions and when they come in. And then after launching that a couple of years ago, they launched Hex Trust Markets as well. And Hex Trust Markets is a broker-dealer that facilitates client access to the market for mostly for our clients in custody.
Okay, so more of an OTC trading service.
Yeah, 24/7.
Okay, yeah. Gotcha. All right, okay. And so you said you have been in this role for how long?
Okay, so at Hex Trust for 2 years. Initially, I started as head of risk for the business, for the group. And then early last year, I was asked to step in and run the markets business.
Okay.
And I've been doing that since then, and it's great.
Okay, so let's just break down a little bit what a custodian does and maybe the importance behind digital asset custody versus self-custody.
Yeah, so very important. So a custodian we're regulated and licensed, and we have a trust license in Hong Kong. Here in Dubai, we're fully licensed under VARA, under the custody rulebook. So we have a proprietary platform called HexSafe, which is the platform which manages the client's keys effectively. Okay. So the technology allows the client to have completely segregated wallets. Mm-hmm. Okay, so client assets in custody with us, they remain on the client's balance sheet.
Okay.
They're not our liability.
Right.
They don't belong to us. They're not on our balance sheet. They're on the client's balance sheet. So unlike when you put your assets on an exchange.
Okay.
When you put your assets on an exchange, then it's like putting your money in a bank. It's a liability. Yeah, there's a liability. So the bank owes you the money. It's a liability, and it's on the bank's balance sheet. And so the cash is on the bank's balance sheet, and the liability in your account is what they owe you. And the exchange is the same format, but with a custodian, it's your money in the custodial account, and it's fully, in our model at least, it's fully segregated down to the asset level. So the client can see their assets in our platform, but they can also see the assets independently on chain.
Okay.
Every second of every day, they can see their assets exactly where they are.
So then what are the risks associated there? You said you were working in risk management at first and in Hex Trust. So what are the main risks that you advise your clients on?
So risk management at a custodian in a business like Hex Trust Markets is very much like a bank, as in, so on the custody side, okay, the assets are fully segregated. They're on the client's balance sheet. So that's pretty clean, very clean from a financial risk point of view. But of course, there's operational risk management frameworks to have in place. And then on the Hex Trust Markets side, which is OTC trading, and Hex Trust Markets faces clients as principal, and we have to manage risk in terms of market risk, price risk, as well as credit risk, counterparty credit risk, operational risk, liquidity risk. It's very much the same as a capital markets trading business in TradFi. Okay. So there's all the same risks to manage, plus a few new ones maybe.
All right. I know that this topic is very important to you since you're actually part of a non-profit Crypto Risk Office, is that correct?
That's right,
yes.
Crypto Risk Office.
Okay, and could you just explain a little bit about that? I know that you guys deal with precisely this topic of risk management.
Yeah, so 2022, everyone probably remembers, was a complete train crash for the crypto market. And I started in December 21 and in the industry, and I was watching it sort of firsthand crash. And I was pretty surprised at how immature risk management was across the industry, underinvested, like very little investment in risk management, industry-wide. So, so after the whole thing ended in 2022, I decided to, along with my co-founder, Alessia, to set up the Crypto Risk Office. And then we've had more community members come in and help build content and share content for people to learn about risk management.
Okay, so it's like an educational platform.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Amazing. How's that going?
Great. Yeah, it's there to sort of help bridge people from TradFi into crypto and introduce the Web3 community that are not familiar with TradFi risk management concepts to the risk management side. Which is important, which TradFi actually has spent a lot of time on.
Okay.
And so we sort of need to bring this together.
Do you have any horror stories of your time in crypto, of any maybe scams or hacks that unfortunately you've been victim to?
Look, I mean, only the ones that everyone else has sort of observed, in the market. I guess, fortunately.
Okay, good.
Touch wood, but but just observing, that train crash that was 2022.
Yeah. So FTX mainly. Celsius.
Celsius and so on, and many more. But there was just a lot of basic risk management that wasn't done.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So educating people about that.
Yeah.
Okay, I see. All right. So now let's. You said that you're based in Dubai and focused on the UAE and GCC market. So let's localize things. And I want to talk about how the business is going, basically.
Yeah.
Now that we are in the beginning of 2024, and a lot of companies, including Hex Trust, that have moved to the region are now finally getting their operational licenses. So what does that mean exactly? Like, does that mean now they can fully start operating? Like, what can we expect in 2024 for all of these crypto companies, including yours, that are now in the region?
Yeah. So it's a very good point. So we were actually fortunate to be the first company to get an operational license in February last year.
2023?
On the custody side, yes. And that meant we could onboard clients at the time. The framework sort of evolved a bit and we got our full license in November. But yeah, for much of last year, there were not many other licensed people in the market.
There were people
So there were people here, but they're building and working on getting their license. And it was, so some of them wanted to operate and they couldn't. And so, of course, we have operations out of Hong Kong, and we have other entities in Singapore and Europe as well. But our Dubai entity was sort of, because we're very much B2B institutional, we're also kind of looking for the rest of the market to get licensed as well.
Of course, to be on board.
Help the big business, yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
Exactly, and we're starting to see more and more of that happening now.
Okay.
Which is great.
So then tell me what else you're excited about for this year. Any goals that you have both personally and professionally?
Yeah, sure. So we're expecting to announce some additional licenses, shortly. I won't pre-announce anything, but yeah, that's going to be very exciting, and will help to serve our clients better here and globally from here as well. And really just getting more across the whole community and meeting and knowing everybody here.
Okay.
And looking to help them out, because as I think I mentioned earlier, everybody needs a custodian.
Yes.
So and on top of the custody, we can, we also have a markets trading service. We have an issuance entity, and we have some other services coming soon.
Okay. So does that mean going to a lot more events?
It's one of the things which is I think very strong in the crypto community, is because it's an industry full of startups.
Yeah.
Right. And people are looking to network, looking to engage, and meeting in person is the best way, right?
Yes. No, I agree.
Yeah. And Dubai is great for that.
Definitely. There's always something going on.
Yeah.
How else would you describe the community and the ecosystem in Dubai and Abu Dhabi now? Ras Khaimah is a growing industry player. So how would you describe the startup industry here?
Look, I think impressive. It's and certainly in the Web3 space, I think it's probably fair to say, in many ways, world leading. Also reminds me in many ways of Hong Kong. Okay. Because
I've never been there.
Yeah, Hong Kong's amazing, and it's super commercial. Hong Kong, very, really good for doing business. So it's a real business center, and the geography lends itself very nicely to the proximity of the city and the offices, and the ease to meet people. You can have half a dozen business meetings every day.
Oh, really?
And you walk from one to the other in 5 minutes or 10 minutes. So super good for that. Dubai is a bit more spread out.
Yes.
But it does have this very commercial nature, and people are really looking to meet and engage and say, how can we work together? So it's really good.
Okay, no, I love that as well. Everyone's has a very collaborative spirit, I would think. All right, and now, is there anything that you find the most rewarding about working in crypto and the most challenging that you can share with?
Sure, good. Rewarding is, I think it's knowing that you're working in building something new that is ultimately going to be really, really beneficial to everybody, because we're working to bring the value layer, online. So the value layer of the whole economy is going to come online, enabled by all the DLT technology and that is being introduced.
Yeah, and I guess that's going to happen regardless, right? Everything's just virtual online now.
The value layer of the economy will all come online on chain.
Right.
It will, Craigslist, everything on there will be NFTs. You want to buy something on Craigslist, you'll be buying the NFT that gives you the right to own that bicycle.
So you think that feature is inevitable?
100%. Mm-hmm. Yeah, 100%. It's just a matter of when. Okay.
And what's the most challenging part about working in crypto and Web3 and blockchain?
Change. So
you like change or you don't like change?
I'm good with it, but to be honest, I think generally people are not looking for change, right? And I think especially industries that have been around for hundreds of years, so TradFi,
right,
and the change that's coming there. I mean, we're talking about changing the monetary system. I mean,
it's a big deal.
This is like a big deal.
Yeah.
It's a big deal. I know people are very excited about AI, but changing the way money works and the way money is created and custodied.
Is that a word?
It's a big deal.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. All right. Well, we are running out of time. So just if you could tell the audience what's the best way to get in touch with you and to learn more about Hex Trust and Hex Trust Market.
Sure. Thank you very much. Hextrust.com. And reach out to us, and we would love to help you with custody, trading, and we look forward to meeting you.
All right. Well, thank you, Geoff, for your time today.
Cheers. Thanks, Ornella.
And everyone, please stay tuned for the rest of Crypto TV.